Welcome into the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise, where for the second time in just 2 weeks, not only are we playing prime time Monday Night Football, but we are once again facing our division rival in the Tennessee Titans. Last game was a close one on the field, though not quite so on paper. We both ended with similar offensive yards, 306 to 303, but it was 15 points scored in the fourth quarter that led Tennessee to the win. Overall, it was a very clean game from both of the quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence, he had 77% complete, meanwhile Will Levis, 71%, but he had 2 touchdowns compared to Lawrence's 1. We got the running game well established with Lawrence, who ran for 68 and a touchdown, did have a fumble. ETN ran for 4.5 a rush. Tank Bigsby scored the touchdown, but we could not stop their short, consistent pass game, with Glenn Ferguson popping off for any of their big touchdowns, including a 74-yarder. But it was Chig Okonkwo who just kept getting the catches and picking up the first downs. We also saw Tutu Atwell do the same thing, Calvin Ridley. So heading into this game, Coach Boston, he challenged the defensive backs. We need to play sound football, know the plays, attack on them, and ultimately break them up. As for the offense, who played a good game last time, just keep it clean, and with that, we should do enough to find ourselves back on top. And with us now chasing the Baltimore Ravens, who are 8-2, claiming our first spot here in the AFC, we need to continue racking up some wins. And we also need to find a win in division. Texans are behind us by 3 games, but we've lost to both the Colts and the Titans already this year. And if we pick up the win in our alternate throwbacks, we can end the 2-game winning streak of the Titans. We are underway here Monday night. Set back to return is Levy Brown, who will take it down the middle, cutting to the left-hand side. A key tackle comes in from 24, and it will be the 29-yard line where the offense will get underway. ETN in the backfield, taking it to the left-hand side and picking up a gain of 3. If Murray didn't get out there, that could have been a big game, just as ETN had last week, over 100 rushing. 2nd and 7, go the stretch to the right-hand side, and again a key tackle coming in from the linebacker group. Just a second away from bursting through that gap. Does leave a 3rd and 2. Bunch to the left-hand side. Well, that's going to be an early jump. Quinn Miners, so never mind the 3rd and short. 3rd and long to medium here. Now trips go to the right-hand side. Brenton Strange to the left. And under pressure before he could get the throw off, it's Ojulari picking up the sack, and a quick 3 and out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Self-inflicted wounds ends that drive early and sends out the Mayo Man in Will Levis. He's had 14 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions this year. If we could force some mistakes on his part, all the better, as Spears gets upended by Campbell, back from injury last week. And it's those dump-off passes that got the better of this Jacksonville team last time. As they go with the run all over it, Izaluakin will end up being a loss on the play, and if not mistaken, he got injured in that last Titans game and missed him for a majority of it. Spears picks up the first down on 3rd and 4. And again, it's the short passing game getting the better of the Jacksonville defense. Empty set here for Will Levis, as he actually has max protection, and getting the one-hand snag on the outside is the rookie in Ferguson. He had the 2 big grabs for him in that previous game. First down here under pressure, Walker with the hit. But getting the ball out to Atwell is Levis. With a 2nd and 6, they're down to the 27. It's going to be a tight shotgun look here. Again, a lot of short passes, but they get Atwell chopped out with the first down. So far, nothing new here for the Tennessee offense, just the short check down passes. Will Levis has about a 94 QBR on anything 5 yards or less. That drops in half when he goes to anything further. So obviously they're going to stick to it as it just keeps working. As they go to the outside, Calvin Ridley around the edge, jet sweep, and the Titans cap off a really strong start to this one. The defense got the 3 and out, and the offense could not be slowed down. And that puts more pressure here on Trevor Lawrence and the offense to make sure they tie this game up. He's taken the lead in QB rushing yards, especially with his performances the last 2 weeks. Starting with ETN here, who takes the stretch down the middle, picking up 3. Those gaps not staying wide for very long. 2nd and 7 now at the 31, as they will drop back to throw across the middle and finding Brenton Strange. Gonna take him up to about the 50. It's been a couple weeks since we really got to call his name. He gets a nice grab there. Shotgun look here with a first down and out to ETN. The couple blockers out in front. He will burst forward with a gain of 15. And they're not handing the ball off to him. They're going to find a way to still get the ball to him. Well involved in the passing offense. The play action here, rolling. And he gets it out a little bit behind Davis. Makes the adjustment, toe taps for an extra yard or 2. And goals ultimately, it's about a gain of 7. About a minute left here in the first. ETN takes the read option, it looked like. First down marching. As long as Lawrence has them steadily moving, they could tie this game up just outside the red zone here. With 2 tight ends and a receiver to the left-hand side. They go play action. Dumping it off is Sexton. First down with about a gain of 11. And he seems to have been slowly rebuilding that confidence, not only in his abilities, but his body as well. Suffered a lot of injuries early on to start his career. ETN with a minimal gain to end the first. But inside around the 15-yard line, steady moving here to try to tie this one up, as it is 7-0, Titans in front. As we start the second, it's 2nd and 9 at the 11. Bunch to the left-hand side, ETN. And he meets the corner on the outside, plowing forward for about a gain of 4. That gives the Jags another 3rd and short here. They had a false start the last time. Bunch to the right-hand side. No hard count from Lawrence. Wide open, and he finds it. Gabe Davis to level this game up here, 7-7. A much better second drive for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and both played a similar way. Steady. And Coach Boston's really going to like that answer back from his offense. But now it's the defense who has to go out here and prove something. They have not done well against this Titans team this year. They start at the 28. Tajay Spears obviously getting well involved in their passing game. Again, similar to our style, and that ball too short for Ferguson. He had Ringo beat, but the pressure rolling to the right just threw off the pass. 2nd and 10 here, and they bring out the fullback. Still looking to pass the ball. Across the middle, and Ferguson is wide open. The linebackers sat a little too shallow in the zone coverage. With what these stats tell us about the throwing ability of Will Levis, they're going to try to challenge him to hit those medium shots with regularity. Spears picks up 4 on first. Could have been more, but Cisco meets him, limiting it. 2nd and 6 here. 2 tight ends to the left, 2 receivers to the right. And they get the nice pull. Spears close, but not enough for the first. That's going to pin it a 3rd and mere inches. With a spread look, they bring the pressure, and easily getting the ball to the outside is Will Levis. Calvin Ridley with the previous touchdown extends the drive. And when this Jacksonville defense fails to get pressure, that's where they struggle. Will Levis takes it outside and slips-ish on the Aluakin hit. Perhaps nearly breaking away, but just didn't keep his footing. Limits it to a gain of 6. As Spears beat the double A gap, shakes the tackle. And eventually it's Savage and Hines Allen bringing him down at the 11. So far this is definitely not the stand by the Jacksonville defense. Back inside the red zone for the Titans. As they throw to the outside, Savage, no Jerrion Jones out there, couldn't break it up. Goes as a quick hitter, gain of 4 to Calvin Ridley. He's out at the 8. And still looking to pass the ball here. Going across the middle, no, wide open outside and off the hands of the tight end. Josh Wiley drops the gimme. He did have a touchdown in the previous one. Will Levis not going to be too happy about that. Should have been touchdown pass 16. He's got it the next play. A touchdown here for the rookie in Ferguson. He gets 1 in both the games here. And he regains the lead for the Tennessee Titans. With just under 4 minutes left here in the first half, Lawrence and the Jaguars once again will have to answer. They start back at the 27 with some motion to the right-hand side. having to roll that way, throwing it out and well out in front for Gabe Davis. He had his defender beat with a step or two. Lawrence just couldn't put it on him, having to bail out from that pressure. Etienne takes the handoff and a short gain. The Titans, they just have a lot of speed in that second level, and they're putting that speed to work. Motioning over Etienne to the right-hand side here, a third down. They need to convert, and he finds Gabe Davis this time. Etienne, a little bit of a smokescreen blocker on that. Well, basically, they had it set up to either the cover guys were going to cover Etienne on the deeper wheel, or they were going to go down to Davis. A lethal threat either way as Etienne takes the carry here, just another gain of 1. Stingy in the Tennessee run defense. As we approach the 2-minute warning here, motion on the right-hand side. Jacksonville gets the snap off just in time, going out on the screen. Blocker out in front, picks up that block, and rumbling down inside the 40 as the 2-minute warning arrives. They've looked for Etienne twice in the passing game, and they've hit on it twice, 33 yards, plus what he's been able to do in the rushing. Inside the warning now, and they go back to Etienne. It's a first down to the 20. He got wide open on the angle or Texas route, depending on what your team prefers to call it. Inside a minute 20 now, trips to the right-hand side. And coverage looking pretty good. Lawrence looks to bounce it. He shakes the sack attempt. He's going to get the first down and out of bounds. A late hit from the corner, no flag down. And it's not a Mahomes situation. He was well out of bounds by the time that hit came in. First and goal at the 7. And throwing, he had Davis, but he gets out of the sack. And in that scenario, might be a little bit more important to get out of the sack. We got second and goal here at the 7, a minute and 9 seconds. They hand it off Etienne, he stretches outside, crosses the goal line, but they've got some yellow back in the backfield. This one's coming back. And they call it an Antone Harrison, who was on the opposite side of that run. So second and goal back at the 17. One receiver either side as they throw to the outside, and that's caught but out of bounds. So third and goal at the 17 after they had the initial touchdown. Lawrence making a change. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They bring the pressure. Throws to the outside and blocking up the pass. And I don't think the defender even knew that ball was thrown. They were looking for Brenton Strange, but the guy covering Etienne breaks it up. And the Jags will have to settle for a field goal attempt here down the middle. They draw it within 4. But 14-10 with 49 seconds. Will Levis coming out here, and they do get the ball after half, so this could be a huge opportunity to try to grow a big lead before the break as Okonkwo dropped it. We talked earlier about how impactful he was in that first game. That time, just a big miss. Second and 10 here, still looking to pass the ball, and to the outside, Ridley dropped inbounds, will force a timeout to be called. But if we could get a stop here, could be a big opportunity for our side. 3rd and 3, they will look to pass the ball, but getting open is Ferguson. They went cover 2 man and beat it. Coach Boston challenging his defense there to make the play, and they did not. To midfield with 31 seconds, only 1 timeout remaining. Another quick throw underneath. They find Ferguson. He clearly is their main target here, and he's having a good game. 5 catches, 70 yards. But with 21 seconds left in the half, they are now out of timeouts and outside of field goal range as it stands. Though that one's going to put him inside range. Ferguson ducks out at the 24. Well inside range now. 17 seconds, but they could look for the end zone. Okonkwo, he's going to motion from right to left. As they set up several curl routes, Aluakin just trying to guard several guys. That ends up helping force the throwaway. What the Jags really need here is to force a turnover. 11 seconds left. Got to keep them off the board before the break. And a pass downfield. Cisco, he gets the pick. No, they say caught out of bounds. And inside 2 minutes, you can't review it. That one would have been really close. We see the ball come in there. He gets his hands on it, but not sure with how weird the feet went there if that would have been caught in bounds or not. But it gives Ryland an opportunity for a field goal. With 7 seconds left, it is a chip shot and a touchdown lead for the Titans as we reach halftime. And with the Titans getting the ball after half, a great opportunity awaits for them. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense has to play a much better second half. The offense, well, it obviously missed out on some points. They should have a closer game here, but the defense has not picked up any stops. As for games happening around the league that do impact us, the Colts, they lose to Kansas City 38-24. About halfway down the left side, the Texans pick up a win against the Cleveland Browns, so they draw a little bit closer. That means we have to find our way to victory here today. And as mentioned, it's all gonna start with the defense. Can they finally get into the head here of Will Levis? If they could form a quick pass rush, all the better. They have not really had that today. They start with a run that picks up 2. But with how good that passing game has been, they honestly haven't had to run. The passing game does the job of that for the running game. Though it opens up here and getting to the second, third level, the tight ends and the receivers. The Titans can get the running game going as well. They'll just create even more havoc here for the defense as they go right back to it. Oluokun gets shook, and it's another first down run for Spears. However, they do have an injury. Tutu Atwell seems to be clutching at that left shoulder, perhaps. He will work his way to the tunnel. We'll see if at all if that affects this passing offense. It's been highly effective today. So they go back to the run. Spears, he's going to be corralled. Savage comes in from the safety spot. And just like the number on his chest, he picks up 2. 2nd and 8. Plus side, they go right back to him, but Hines Allen through the block picks him up and slams him down. It will be a loss of 2 on that one, bringing up a 3rd and 10. They break up the bunch with the motion to the right-hand side. Setting up the curl routes yet again, and to the outside, drop by Ferguson. He heard the footsteps. That should have been another Titans first down. Instead, it's a big break as our offense can hit the field. Following a good punt, they do start back inside the 10 with a chance to tie this game up. Etienne takes it. Kind of got stuck to the guard there, but he picks up 4. The Jaguars definitely have to make sure they get the ball in the end zone here. Can't miss out on this prime opportunity. As they fake the flip, they still get it out to Etienne a little bit later. He will put that shoulder down and pick up about 6. And for the 3rd time tonight, it will be a 3rd and short for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They bring out Tank Bigsby and the fullback into Guara. They get the first down, but a flag also down about as soon as that ball was snapped. Someone grabbed a jersey. But once again, the Jaguars make this more difficult on themselves. A 3rd and 10 just to get inside the 10. Lawrence, he's going to drop back to throw. And looking for Devin Duvernay, it's broken up. Again, the Jacksonville Jaguars shoot themselves in the foot and will be forced to punt. And it will be really good starting position here for Tyjae Spears and the offense. They got the running game going last time. He's averaging about 5 yards a carry. We'll see if they go back to the passing game here. As he do, it's picked off Oluokun. He baited Will Levis into that quick curl route. They've ran that play about 4 times tonight. And the veteran on this defense, the captain, makes the play for the Jaguars. And after not being able to capitalize on the last opportunity, gifts the offense with another. Starting basically at the midfield line. They actually take away the screen. And Lawrence just threw it straight to Amani Hooker, who's going to have the touchdown pick 6. I don't know the last time it looked that obvious that an NFL quarterback was shaving points. There's no way that ball was intended for any of the deep receivers. Yeah, he's under pressure, but that ball comes up 30 yards short of the nearest receiving option. That made Sam Darnold, playing for the division title in Week 18 prime time, look like an absolute hero. So now we are down by 14 points, needing to answer. And throwing that one into the turf, he had Etienne. Not the time to blow opportunities, as we've already blown about 2 or 3 in this one. 2nd and 10. They go back to the screen. They get it to Etienne. He's got some blockers in front, and he's got the first down. It seems like it's got to be him here today, as the passing game has been very hit or miss. The safeties rotate to the left-hand side. They hand it off Etienne, who trucks through the outside defender. All of that to get back to the line. And Lawrence has no room to judge after his last couple plays. But with 2 to the left-hand side, 1 to the right, they've got to find the passing play here. They get it out to Etienne. Somehow he squeezed it into that gap. And it brings up a 3rd and medium here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They need 5 more. With several guys on that left-hand side of this defense, they hand it off Etienne, and he's got space. Seems like Boston is definitely going to be going his way. But with how well he's done this season, it makes sense why he would. With an awkward split between the receivers over on the left-hand side, didn't look like that play properly got set up. Lawrence is just going to scramble, ducking out at the 19. Perhaps running the hurry up that time did not pay off for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Approaching the 1.5 mark here of the 3rd quarter. Inside the red zone, Lawrence looks to bounce again, try to pick up some blocks, which he will. Jukes, ball pops out, and jumping on it is Anton Harrison. We got a big boy touchdown as he saves Trevor Lawrence, who coughed up the ball, just simply dropping it at the half-yard line. Comes rumbling in, diving on it. And we have drawn this game 1 touchdown closer. Lawrence is going to have to buy him a diamond chain in the shape of him spiking the ball in the end zone for that one. Well saved. 24-17. And handing off to Spears, who gets by 2 defenders. That should have been a play made at the line. Instead, Campbell, he ends up getting the stop, but that's down the field, a 1st down at the 39. Spread empty here for Will Levis. As he throws to the outside, Savage dives but comes up well short of breaking that one up. I gotta say, I at least appreciate the effort on that one. 2nd and 1 inside 30 seconds. And another quick dump off, and Tajay Spears one-hand grab, but he gets his knee cut out by Savage. Good news for him, he will have the break to try to recover from that one, as we are still trying to recover from 2 huge missed opportunities. Still down by 7, Titans with the ball. And it's a pretty crucial down as we get the 3rd underway with a 3rd and 2. Bunch to the left-hand side, it's an empty set, and it's picked off by the edge man, Trayvon Walker. Takes it away. Another quick slant they try to hit that was open. But the defensive lineman decided, I'm not rushing. I'm not going to get there. He drops back, and he picks off Will Levis, giving us yet another opportunity to try to tie this game. We've just got to make sure that Lawrence and the offense don't have any more shenanigans ready for us. Starting at the 49, they hand it off. Etienne, he goes down the middle, rumbling for a gain of 9. Both his rushing and catching ability, plus the scrambling ability of Lawrence, helped out the last drive before Lawrence coughed it up. Anton Harrison falling on it for the touchdown. But if that's not the Jacksonville way here of finding your way to the end zone just by pure utter shenanigans, I don't know what is. As they pass across the middle, Sexton, no, it's Strange with the grab, couldn't keep his feet. I don't think that ball was too far out in front, but hey, at least he made the grab here. Down to the 21. 3 tight ends to the right-hand side. They go Etienne weak side, and it's Hooker with a touchdown-saving tackle. You can see Etienne's disappointment there as he shakes his head going back to the huddle. He thought he had 6. Instead, it's 2nd and 6. Lawrence scrambles, and he slides down about a yard short of the line to gain. So again, a 3rd and short here for the Jaguars. Trips go to the right-hand side. Lawrence keeps it. He's got an angle as he angles to the pylon. With the PAT, we'll have a tied game here. About 5 minutes left in Tennessee. A clutch drive from the Jaguars. They capitalize off the Trayvon Walker interception. And Will Levis and the offense can take the field. They start back at the 25. Been a little bit more run-heavy this second half. We'll see if they get back to the passing game as Okonkwo was open. But again, on any pass, about 7+ yards away from the line of scrimmage, Will Levis has struggled. That one he missed wildly. 2nd and 10. They go back to the pass. Shot downfield, and it's caught by Ridley. He makes the adjustment on the throw, slightly behind. Normally when you do that, you're susceptible to getting picked off, but the defender nowhere close for it. Quick throw to the outside as they get a new man involved, a little bit of a hurdle. It's Tyler Boyd with the catch as he's just sitting here on the depth of the Titans receiving group. 2nd and 4. Getting back to the passing game, and quick to the outside, they've got Ridley. It's nothing new here with this offense. They're just playing the same thing they've always done. And this time they get Ferguson. He holds on down to the 24. The corner route perfectly beating the cover 2 zone of the Jaguars defense. They're already down to the 24-yard line here. 3:40 and counting. And getting Ridley back to the outside. He's just breaking all these weak tackle attempts. Gain of 3. Might have been one of the slowest gains of 3, but still works out. Picking up some yardage on first as they go with the play action. And shot downfield. Touchdown Ferguson. Savage, too slow to get out there. He's been a step behind in all of his coverage today. Ferguson gets his 2nd, and it's back on top for the Titans. Now with 3:04 left, once again, this game is going to come down to if Lawrence can will his team downfield. I'm sure they're definitely going to try to get ETN still well involved. They've got 3 timeouts, and they got to tie this game up. Pass outside, and shaking the tackle goes Thomas. I believe that's his first catch tonight. A nice play there, what was going to be a pretty short game. Make that a much bigger game as they are still making a couple changes here. Lawrence, play action. Throws across the middle, a little bit behind Strange, but he's got the catch on the move, rumbling down to the 32. And they get back to the line quick enough here for at least one more snap before the 2-minute warning. As they've got Strange again, right down the seam. It's a quick answer for Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. 31-31 in what's becoming a shootout here in Tennessee. For the Jags, they've got 1:55, and they have not been able to slow down this offense really at all today. The turnovers being the only stops, and they might need to force another here. Inside 2 minutes, 2 curls, they cover it. Levis, he scrambles, and he gets all the way to the outside and steps out of bounds. He could have kept going. The Jaguars finally get the good coverage, but then they don't contain. All the way down to the 43 with another big opportunity, and down the seam, Ridley, he gets by Savage. It's a 2-play drive, and now 38-31. There is no secondary here late on in this game, at least for the Jaguars. Hopefully not for the Titans either. So with no time essentially off the clock, it's the Jaguars offense back out onto the field. They start back at the 20. They got 1:40, and they need to answer. Lawrence, he rolls, and he throws it out late. Devin Duvernay, the target. They had 2 receivers, 1 DB in the area, and he threw it straight at the DB. Slant set up this time. He gets ETN on the outside. Going to be a first down up to the 38. They'll go hurry up there, saving the timeout. And again, making a couple changes on the outside. Lawrence keeping the 2 to the left, trips to the right-hand side. They bring the blitz from the right-hand side, and he misses Strange. Really can't be missing a 5-yard throw from where you're standing. 2nd and 5, still at the 38. Now 4 go to the right-hand side. Rolling that way, he has ETN wide open the other way. Ball goes nowhere close to him. We saw that ball get picked off earlier, but it didn't matter as there was holding. They called that one on A.J. Jackson, and it's 2nd and 20, now back at the 28. Inside a minute, they get the screen out to ETN. He's going to pick up about the lost yardage. But it is a 3rd and 13. They've got 3 timeouts, 50 seconds. You got to make sure you get a first down here before you get a touchdown. As they throw way over the top of Davis, that should have been a first down. Lawrence just airmailed it. And now it's a 4th and game. 2 to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. Hard count, no one jumps. It's a tight look here as he throws. Caught Gabe Davis. He finds him this time. And they're going to go hurry up right back to it. taking inside 30 seconds. They honestly need to tie this game up with no time remaining. As he throws downfield, it's picked off. Undercut. It's McCreary with the interception and the game-sealing play. Trevor Lawrence does it yet again. Though he brought his team back several times, the defense could not pick up a stop. And the Titans sweep our Jacksonville Jaguars on the season. They now move to a 3-game winning streak, and we have yet to beat a single division rival. And once again, we had all the opportunities. The secondary, I guess, just doesn't know what to do with a simple dump-off offense. That's all Will Levis really did today. Occasionally, they would pop up with a deep ball. And it's not like we were that far off in coverage, but they just simply never quite made the play. We got the interception from Walker and Aluakin, so the linebacker and defensive lineman made the play in coverage. But the actual guys supposed to be covering never quite made the play. A few mistakes on offense coming by way of Lawrence ended up being the nail in the coffin. And the weird thing is that against anyone else, we know how to cover. We technically have the #1 pass defense, at least in yards given up, under 200 a game. But against the Titans, we just can't figure out how to do it. Hopefully we figure out how to do it against the Las Vegas Raiders. They are also 8-3, and in terms of how the overall picture is looking, we are starting to fall well away from that first seed. We're into week 13, so we still got plenty of time. But the Baltimore Ravens are now 9-2. We've also dropped out of second place as the Raiders have taken that. So this is a pretty important game for future playoff play-ins and seeding purposes. As it still stands, we are on top of our division, but that lead is ever growing smaller. The Texans are 2 games behind us, and we haven't played them yet. We also haven't beat a division rival this year. So those 2 games can disappear pretty quickly. And if we are being honest, on paper, we don't have a great secondary. We have one corner who's 80+ overall in Campbell, and he wasn't that well involved in this game. We do have Cisco, who's in 84, but again, they played essentially anywhere where Cisco and Campbell were not. They went after Savage, they went after Jones, and they went after Ringo. So potentially, while we do have a lot of these young defensive guys that we were trying to build around, they might not be exactly the guys to build around. And as this season moves on, we have to start making some big decisions on who we do decide to re-sign. We've got $40 million in cap. Travis Etienne, Devin Duvernay, Brevin Jordan. We have the 5th-year option here for Anton Harrison. Do we keep him around? He has a lot of penalties, but he's a pretty decent young talent. And we also have the 5th-year option for Broderick Jones. So we've got decisions to make, and we have to start taking a little bit of a look at the draft. As it stands, and the way that they have changed things here in Madden 25, it's not as easy to really go through these classes. You really have to take a hard look. And perhaps one of the positions that we do need to take a hard look at is just the DB group entirely. I know we need to replace Savage, but do we also need to look at corner? There's a round 1 to 2, a lot of round 2 to 3s. Can we find a gem here sitting in this spot? And offensively too, I mean, there are a good amount of quarterbacks here. Do we look at any possible changes to be made at that spot? Lawrence, he's a good runner, but his passing game at many times is a liability. Maybe we find someone who's good at both. Well, that's going to be all for things to come. So make sure you stick around, hit that bell icon bottom right, or scroll down at the sub button and tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. We've got the Stanford Cardinal Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with College Football 25. And they are having, honestly, a kind of a similar situation here, that sometimes they play as good as the #1 pass defense, #1 rush defense, but then at times we can't pass the ball. Very, very similar here. Might just be to who's behind the controller, but a lot of big action coming your way as we have a battle for second place next time.